I changed it though. Better double check. Where the heck is it?
You have to stop and restart it then.
I don't think so. It's got to be really close though, because I waited till like 29:20. There it goes.
They're at 6:30.
Call the meeting to order with a pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, roll call.
Schrader, Coleman, Demai. And I'm present.
Excellent. Open meeting compliance.
The agenda was posted on January 30th on the Town of Fort Winnebago internet calendar, as well as at Northside Auto Repair, and it was sent by notice by email to the Portage Daily Register.
Very good. Thank you. Agenda, I'm happy that you guys are. We got a motion and a second to accept the agenda as printed. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? None. Motion carried. Alrighty, our minutes from our December meeting.
There, up on there.
Up on there.
From the January meeting.
January, that's right. Did I miss a month already?
Yeah.
Oh, well. I stand corrected. January it is.
Let's move on. See anything. Already easy to change. I make a motion to accept.
We got a motion, a second to accept the January minutes as printed. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? None. Motion carried. Treasurer's report.
All right. So, majority of all of our deposits and everything, obviously, this month were tax collections. So I had 4 or 5 batches of taxes that were paid. We're coming up close to the end of that. We did have a couple redeposits for errors on checks that we had. We had a couple written checks incorrectly during the tax season this year. Then we'd also have the incoming dog licenses. We did receive another payment on that Vanessa fire bill that we continually get about $11 and some odd cents every month, trying to get that paid off. That's from the bonded collectors. We did get one fire call invoice that was paid. Our September reimbursements from general engineering for permits. And then we had 3 parcel searches for some that are being done. Oh, look, I got more tax batches there. So we've got quite a few. In the LGIP this month, we did have the transportation aid first quarter was deposited. For expenditures, that's the list that we approved at the last meeting, at the January meeting, included the payments to the school, Columbia County, and MATC for their tax portions. Budget-wise, obviously being a brand new year, there's not a huge amount to look at there. Taxes, credits, and settlements you see so far, I've collected just over $1 million, so we've got about $300,000 to go. Obviously, not all of that's now because we do have the people that pay half now and half to the county later. Then tax settlements paid out. We've paid $607,000 out, but we do have checks on tonight's budget to pay off the remaining balances to the county, school, and MATC. And that's it.
How is it working? I know you started putting our tax collection into the savings at Community Bank. Are we?
It's all working very well. I like it. First, we're gaining a lot more interest that way because all that money, because the savings account is a money market. So the more money you have in there, the more interest you make. So holding it in there and transferring to pay those bills and things, it makes us some money, and it's smooth, keeps our books clean. I like it.
Excellent, excellent. Any questions? Okay, we got a motion, a second to approve the treasurer's report as presented. All in favor? Aye, opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Citizen input. Anyone got any questions, comments? If not, all righty, moving along. Old business, I guess, last month we started talking about the possibility of doing something for a town hall. This one, of course, you can hear here, the noisy, and that screen has been damaged twice, just trying to get it in and out of storage. The closet's getting so full, we don't have any room, and plus it's kind of an event, so I guess we're kind of looking at that. And we had a survey done. I don't know, Mark could tell us how many letters he sent out and what the survey showed us.
That's the results of the survey as of, I think, maybe last Friday, I think, 81 responses. As of right now, I just looked before we started the meeting, we're at 89 responses, and it's 54% yes and 46% against.
So it's not a landslide in either direction. I guess I've talked to some people and they really don't care. Some people are against it for some reasons, and some people are for it for some reasons. So I guess that just shows you where we're at. And I don't know if there's any opinions from the floor. I guess it's not a public hearing, but I guess I'd take any comments if you want, anybody wanting to comment on it, just to see where we stand.
Are there plans already? Let me back up a second. You said there's money set aside, which I've seen that line item on the accounting side of it. And you said that it's not going to impact the taxpayers at all. So do you have an idea, or do you have plans already drafted for what you're looking at building?
No, we didn't want to spend a whole lot of money engineering. We've looked at a couple, Springville built one here a year ago, and
Oh, they're building now.
we're building now. And
Yeah, but we saw their plans.
we've seen their plans and what the costs are. And I mean, the way they're doing it's going to be in the $400,000 area.
So
And
you have looked at other people's plans,
Yeah.
other townships?
yeah, we've got them on the computer and where we've looked at them. And they're a basic building, office, meeting room, bathrooms that you need, handicap accessible, and fairly simple building. Once, we get questions about having it big enough for events, venues, weddings, whatever. Well, as soon as you start going that direction, you got to put a full kitchen in, state inspected kitchen, grease traps on your septic, bigger septic. Everything you do has to be a bigger deal, and it just then you got to hire somebody to clean it up and watch over it. So. Yeah, so we don't
Well,
have
that
it.
takes me to my next question is, so where does the funds come, or where do the funds come for maintaining utilities and that type of thing?
And that's something that I think about also. There's only one place that is very many funds, and that's the road budget. And so we would hope not to spend all of our money down to where we're just on our budget. We would hope to get by and have some extra to get us through a few years on this thing. And then we count on volunteers like you to mow the grass and Gary to plow.
Yeah, right.
Gary to plow the snow. And so basically we just have our utilities, you see. Any other? Yeah, that's perfectly. We want to hear from you. That's what we're here for. I mean, this isn't a done deal. This is a people's deal. I mean, when we get to the point of deciding to have a meeting, like, I don't know, we haven't really talked about it, but maybe our April 15th annual meeting, we bring it up on the agenda and do on a paper ballot, and hopefully there'll be enough people here to get a consensus, and we could say, well, yes, we got enough people that want to do it, and then we could start looking at plans and things like that, and so.
Cecil wasn't interested in entertaining the idea of,
I called them twice, and the first time they hemmed and hawed, and the second time, why would we want to do that? And I said, you'll get us out of the building, we won't be disrupting your classes for election days and all this kind of stuff. And well, we've got to go through 32 boards in order to sell any property. There's 32 different boards through the state of Wisconsin. Different, and they got to get all those boards to approve the sale. And he said, let me talk to this Mike. And he said, if we were interested, I'll call you back. Well, I haven't had any phone calls, so that was, and I figured the top of the hill here was a nice place for it. And, because it's where we've been, but
about adding on to this building.
on this building, well, they're not interested in that neither. I mean,
Piece of
they own the
paper in
property.
there.
And
That's
so
all it is.
Yeah.
I mean, there again, if they decide to sell the building, then we would be stuck, hung up on their building. And so, and plus, some of the clientele here may or may not have windows in the building in the future.
We did, as a part of the survey, we did ask if anybody was interested in either donating or selling the town an acre of land. And just to let everybody know, we did get 2 responses back from 2 different people saying they might consider doing that. And then maybe Raymond wants to speak up. What's your thoughts?
No, I just gave it to you guys if you want it, whatever happened, or the township wants it.
So that was an awful generous, nice
I
offer
would say that was more than a generous offer.
What's the offer?
that he would give us an acre. So then that, I mean, really the town can't really do much without land, right?
Right.
Kind of a thing. And so we, at least, depending on what the people want to do, at least, you probably could start a process in place of having a meeting and letting the voters decide if we move forward, knowing that we at least have some options for land.
That's- We haven't looked into the exact cost of it, no. I
Well-
talked to some of the other, like Caledonian, some of them that do have that facility in there, and it adds a lot, and then now you're looking at a lot more state inspection stuff.
I can tell you that the town of, I checked in a few, town of Scott, town of Jackson, and town of Springvale. And town of Jackson came back, that's in Adams County. They came back and said that they were able to build a building for $375,000, but if they would have had a full-size kitchen and a large enough building for that, it would have been $1.2 million. So it more than doubled the cost to do that.
But you looked at more of a liability.
I was gonna say you have higher insurance and
Insurance and
things like
everything.
that as well.
And so town of Springvale, I saw the bid plans come out for town of Springvale and I looked it over and I sent it on to the board members just so that they could see that, hey, this is what Springvale's building over by Cambria. And it's a really nice plan, I thought. It was really well done and not large, very big, and didn't have any kitchen, and it was pretty major. And their complete cost all in was like $450,000. And that was septic, paving the blacktop, parking lot, everything. And so anyway, that was, and the town of Scott did something similar. So. Done. So.
Oh, sorry.
Could I ask that maybe you plan out how you're going to continue discussions about this so that, we discussed it last month for the first time, you're discussing it tonight, and then say, plan on discussing it for 2 or 3 more meetings and let everyone know that you're going to discuss it again for at least, 2 or 3 more meetings so that, you're not coming back next month and making a decision to go or not go, and then people miss out on a potential discussion, because this is kind of a big deal.
It is a big deal. And, we can't decide here to go or no go. When the decision comes, it's gonna be from the community, and I hope we get enough people interested to where we get a good overview of people's thoughts. I mean, if you got 10 people here, it's easy to sway 10 people, but if you got 80 people here, it's a different story, so.
Like the survey, like let people know you have until this day to reply to the survey, so they, so at
Yeah.
least it's not so open-ended.
Yeah, well, we started with the survey, and I think we sent out, 400 and some letters? Because we sent it out to landowners, not just
300.
residents.
Oh, yeah.
We sent it out even if you own land here and didn't live here.
Oh, yeah, so
And-
with that, it was
With
well over
those.
500, actually.
Actually,
Mhm.
500. So we're trying to be transparent. We're trying to do what we can, and it's hard to reach the general populace. And we've got a website, but I don't know how many people look at it. And we got a newsletter, and I don't know, got couple hundred on there, but it's a long ways from the hotel. So if you've got any good ideas on how to reach people, I guess we're kind of open for suggestions too, so.
Well, I know that Town of Springvale, they developed a building committee and did a lot of internal discussions, and then they reported back multiple meetings with, their ideas. And then that building committee then, once they had everything finalized in the way they thought it should be, because over there, they were talking about whether we remodel the existing town hall, because they have an old town hall. And they were looking at all their options. And then when they finally came up with their suggestion, they brought it before. And then they called a special electors meeting, which is what we would have to do anyway. Either a special electors meeting or the annual meeting. One of those two meetings is when everybody would get to vote their opinion on whether or not they want one or they don't. So I think the only thing the board can do is these three can vote on when they're going to have the special electors meeting, or do they want to hold the election, have the vote at the annual meeting, which is, I believe, April 21st.
Is a referendum an option?
No,
Okay.
it's not an option.
That's, state won't let us do a referendum on a building process.
So the two things that have to happen would be like acquiring land, whether we buy it or get it. That's one thing that a resolution has to be passed saying that the electors either approve or deny that. And then if they approve that, then you can approve or deny directing the board to build a new town hall. And all they can do is give a directive, and then the board gets to decide what they build. But they can't buy land, the board can't buy land, and they can't build without the electors. So,
You said there was 2 offers,
there were, you're talking about
4
land now?
total.
land offers, yes.
Yeah, there were 2 people that said maybe they would consider donating or selling.
Raymond being one.
No, 2 more and Raymond. So 3 total.
Who or what were the other ones?
One of them was Robert Wagner. He doesn't own any, he owns just land off of Curry Road across from Lori Halverson's place. He has a couple different lots back in there, behind there, with just a narrow driveway leading back to his land. So not ideal as far as like we'd have to have quite a long road to get back into there. And then, I probably have to give him an easement to it or something, like, who knows how it happened.
Then
But-
it would be really, really isolated down in there. to
Yeah.
keep an eye on.
And then the other one was Michelle, used to be Michelle Hole. It's not Hole anymore, but over off of Hogan.
Yep.
She has a bunch of different land and she would
Yep.
consider it. Yeah. And she wasn't crazy about it. She's like, if the town really needed it, I might consider it. So.
At this point, I don't know, we want to talk about setting the date or to do it at our annual meeting, or do we want to, I don't know what more discussion we need. Oh, we're going to meet
I
more
personally
people.
think
or
that
we're gonna-
we need to put more information together. I don't know, my personal thought on it is that we need to pull more of the details together to present to those other than,
Just,
other than
Well-
just, should we do it or not do it? It's more of, well, what some of the estimated costs and plans and things look like so that they can make a more educated decision.
Sell it, yeah.
yeah, I don't disagree with that. And,
I mean, I know the survey didn't give us a great idea because it's very split, very close to split, but at the same time, we know there is at least 50% interest. So I think to me, it makes sense to proceed forward to kind of put some of those details together to, like I said, give them some information.
Get somebody from general engineering to come out here and talk to us about, they got more of a, know what's going on. I know a guy that'll probably come out and talk about it. And,
yeah, they would
He
have.
told me a few different, he said he built a town hall, he didn't say where or when, but that was just the building, I think, for $85,000.
Sounds like our kind of building.
Sign them up.
Get 'em
Take
out
two.
there. Get 'em out there. No,
You
I,
know, get somebody with more knowledge than
Right.
we all have. And
Yeah, we're-
haven't talked to whoever will show up for the meeting.
that's where we're gonna have to head, because like I said, the more people you talk to, the more you learn, so.
I mean, I'd be willing to try and put some stuff together. I mean, I think we
Yeah.
have to reach out. I know, Dan, you had some stuff that you kind of looked at too, so maybe we can try and pull some information together at least to what we're looking at.
Yeah, and
I'll see him Wednesday night. I'll see if he's willing to do that.
when's our next meeting?
March
March 2nd.
2nd.
March 2nd will be our next meeting. Is that when, school board's coming too?
Yep, school board's coming that night. Talk about the referendum.
Well,
But-
we should
Well, I would make,
mail another letter out like we did. Let everybody know. I know people don't get on that electronic stuff, because I'm no fan of it either.
I know, the mailing's
We already
hard.
got a letter saying to be here for information from the federal engineer, maybe we get more response. More crowd.
yeah, and I don't disagree with you. A letter, go ahead.
You usually get a pretty good attendance at your annual meeting, right?
No,
No,
No?
unfortunately.
a letter is good, except what we
like
gotta put in
$500.
$1,000
Almost a little less than 1,000 to do our last mailing.
to do the last letter, and,
Yeah.
couple of long nights of setting their stuff in envelopes for
Yeah.
some people.
We could just do it as a postcard, which wouldn't need a whole letter, right?
Yeah.
If we sent a postcard out, which would save us some. But maybe going back to what Kelly said, that I don't know if it means a building committee, or a town hall committee, but maybe something like that needs to be established before we start trying to send out information about something we don't have enough.
You post stuff at the BP stations though?
What's that?
Northside Auto.
No, they're in the city of Portage now, so they're not illegal posting. Ours is posted out of Northside Auto.
Let you post stuff there?
Uh,
It's not legal to post
Well, it's not,
there?
It's,
It
it
doesn't
doesn't
count.
count as a legal posting for us because it's not in the town.
yeah, we can put it there, but it's just,
Well, but a lot of people from the township probably go
Okay.
there and make it.
we can put it there. I mean, we're not opposed to that.
Put a flyer up. One of the things I was gonna bring up about, the voting part of it is, the state statutes has, a way that you have to do it.
Right. You have to put it out to bid on certain
Yeah.
things and everything, right?
So it's not like you can just go to, your local contractor and get a price quote.
But
So-
could you do as far as estimate first, or does that even, no, not even
You
that?
have to post it for
Okay.
estimate.
Gotcha.
I mean, they've got the rules, like if I said, well, we only need a unisex bathroom, it's not that much, but when Springville's doing theirs, no, you gotta have two bathrooms, you gotta have everything, just the way it goes, and so it all adds cost, and so, yeah, and we're very early in this, and maybe we shouldn't be in any hurry to set any dates, we should just move forward here, and if you could get somebody to come talk to us, we're in no hurry, I guess we've been here for 50 years plus 62, maybe 62 to now, however many years that is. So I guess we'll survive a couple more if we have to.
One thing that I thought about was, the size of the building that we're putting up, want to put up is pretty simple. And I just put up a 30 by 40 at my house, and my wife and I built it. And I know there's enough talent in this township to where people could get together like Habitat for Humanity. And I know Dave Dyer would set the trusses and did it in my house, you know, and I don't know if there's a legal way that we could actually turn this into a community event, because we have plumbers, electricians, heating guys right in our own township, you know, that would probably donate time or, you know, do part of it. And I would really like to dig into that part of it versus hiring, you know, a union contractor. No offense,
Easy, no.
but you know, it's just it's just not that hard, you know, to build something on a slab, you know, and when people start talking about the kind of numbers to put up a building like that, and I know what I put my building up for, and it's like, geez, there's a lot of meat on the bone there. You know, when you're just talking about a rectangular building with a regular roof, that's simple stuff. And I would be more than happy to donate time. You know, and as far as the prints go, that's simple stuff too. You know, I already talked to, you know, one friend of mine that draws up houses, and he said, geez, I could draw that up in a few hours, you know. So I really think that, yes, we don't want to get in a big hurry. We want as many people as possible to give input, but at the same time, I want to see what our options are. And if we could pull together our in-township talent and get it done a lot cheaper, and I think it would bring the community together too. Everybody get already have their name on it. You know, but
But it all falls back under state rules, what has to be bid and what doesn't have to be bid. I mean, anything you do.
That's
has to be
why,
bid, yeah.
yeah, more research,
Right.
you know, to see what, you know, what is available for options. You know, because if somebody put up 30 by 40 building
Digging it all.
and then sold it to the
It's
town
just-
hall, what's the difference? You know, it's being constructed prior to, and then the township just buys it. So it wouldn't even be constructed under, you know, the township.
But when we moved, if the town moved into it, it would have to be
Yes. It would have to be built,
state standards.
yeah, to state code standards, which is easy enough to do. That's, we're talking about widths, heights, accommodations.
Well, after the meeting, you and Raymond get together, and when you get the building done, let us know.
Well, I'm just saying, I think we have options.
How do you get approval to build on 1 acre?
I called zoning, and that will, seeing it's a municipality, they'll give you a light commercial rezone to do 1 acre without having the 35 acre rule.
But that would
applied.
squash your plan right there
Yeah.
about building first.
Yeah, they'll build on 1 acre, they got rules in there for municipalities, so you can
Right,
do
right,
things,
right,
yeah.
I understand that.
Right, but
But Dan's suggestion.
Right, to put the building up first,
Private person ain't gonna get the permits to do it.
no.
Right.
Yeah, it's,
Unless the township probably has to sign saying they are gonna buy it.
yeah,
Yeah, and the fact that there's no living quarters in it, I mean, somebody could get a permit to put a building up. You can put steel buildings up all over the place if you want to. And, it's just getting the right permit for having bathrooms, septic, you know, water and everything, but I'm just throwing it out there.
Well, I don't.
Yeah, you know, it may be an option.
There's a little shed across the road from the farm that we put up for cattle way back when, 50 years ago probably.
Yeah.
And the lady from the zoning office wanted that tore down because it could become living quarters because it had 3 sides and a roof on it.
Well, I mean, that's any building,
Yeah,
you could claim that.
But
Yeah.
Dan, I didn't hear you.
Well, I said that's any building, you know, I mean, just like my wife's she shed, you know, it's 30 by 40, that's a lot of square footage. Insulated, drywall, heated. Yeah, you could live in
One
that
of them.
pretty easily.
What the heck?
Not me personally.
well, I guess we'll just keep going along here for a couple meetings. If you could get your friend to stop in, maybe give us a chat.
If he wants more information before he's gonna wanna talk.
Well,
to
he
us.
could still talk to us and give us some idea, don't you think? Or you think you want
Everybody
more?
knows who we got.
Do you think he needs more information, or you think he could just come and talk to us?
Well, I think so. Catch it.
Okay, all right, yeah. I mean, I'm not opposed to listening to him for a few minutes. If you would like, let me know and we'll get him on the agenda, and, or it can just fall under this, which is gonna be old business for a long time here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, more we find out, the better off we are. Unless you guys got a better idea at this point. So we'll just move forward here, I guess.
Okay.
No decision. New
It's me.
business, town credit card.
All right, so we have our credit cards with Associated Bank still at this point, which we've had no problems with them. Everything's great and wonderful. One of the reasons that we went with the Associated Bank credit cards to begin with, and this would be the treasurer card and the clerk card that we use for monthly expenses and whatnot, was because they provide cashback bonus rewards. So we have been accumulating these awards for quite some time. I mean, we got those cards 6-7 years ago, at least, probably. And we were not doing anything with the balance. They were just accruing. Well, I found out and got information that they do eventually expire. So, so I have had my a month or two here that did have some of the points expire. That's what I noticed and caught my eye. What I come to find out is it's 5 years from the date of purchase or whatnot that they will expire if they're unused. So Mark hasn't had any expire yet because he hasn't reached any of those marks. But we need to make a decision on how we want to handle the points now before any more expire and how we want to handle them going forward. Let's see, those are the options that we have. You can take the points and put them as statement credit, so it would just go credit on against our bills and take it off. That is the least, where you get the least out of it. It's like 35, almost 3,500 points equals $25 towards your bill. You can put you can do it into cash, so it would just deposit into our bank account, which is $2,500 points for $25. And the best option is that if we have any purchases on Amazon, then it's 10% dollar for dollar. So we don't buy stuff on Amazon very often, but if we do, so we could use that as if we do. But currently on Mark's card, we have enough points to it's about $275, and mine is $175 if we went the cash route. And then, like I said, my thought would be what our plan is going forward. Again, when you get the points, you have up to 5 years to use them. So I don't know if we just want to say once a year we cash out, or once every other year we cash out, or just something so that we don't end up losing. I mean, it's not huge amounts of money, but it's money. Right. So that's where we're at with them. I mean, my thought would be to keep the cards at Associated Bank. Like I said, we haven't had any issues. They have good rewards on them and everything. And so I don't have any issue with them there, even though I know we don't bank there anymore, but.
No, doesn't matter. As long as
Right.
you're happy with the cards and we're using it.
Right.
I don't know, I kind of lean towards cash out, I don't know what you guys think.
Cash out.
And then just do like once a year or every other year. Like I said, once we cash out right now, then
You got
then we have
years.
5 years before we have to do anything again. I just don't want to
But
lose
we're
sight
gonna
of
need
it.
to keep track of the
Right.
We
I just
need
want
to
to lose
have,
sight of it. A plan.
plan coming up on the computer by next year or 2 years from now.
Yeah, I mean,
Look into that.
I don't know if yearly is worth it because I'm not sure exactly how much we put on there. When you're talking, 10% of whatever we put on there every year might not be worth it to cash out $25, $50 or whatever it is. But because like I said, Mark's has to be the whole time you've been here pretty much, and we're at 275. So yearly is going to be pretty small amounts.
It is,
But
it wouldn't matter, the dollar amount really doesn't matter.
no, for sure not. For
And
sure
then
not.
It doesn't cost anything to cash it out. So.
Nope.
Why don't we, I don't know, look at it every year? Pretty late. It doesn't matter to me.
I would say we could look at it every year and then make a decision.
I was gonna say otherwise, yeah. My thought otherwise would be like, since we're 2-year terms, we do every other year, and
Right. I mean, otherwise we look every other year. I don't care.
my only thought on the every other year is the terms, right? Like if I'm not the treasurer anymore or whatever, if like we set it to be like we look at them right before election time every other year or something, so that it's set. That would be my only thought. But I'm game for whatever. The biggest question I had was if we wanted to cash out or what for now.
Yeah, I guess. That's
Can I
fine.
get a
I need a
motion?
motion. I said you will need one, you want me to make it, or you want me to-
I'll make a motion that we cash out of points for credit cards
Annually?
annually.
Okay, we got a motion, a second, to cash our credit card points out annually. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? You're not supposed to carry.
Thank you all.
Thank you for checking in and keeping track of that. Columbia County Supervisor's not here. I haven't got any communications. Do you have any communications?
No, other than the February election that was possible, the spring primary is not happening because we don't need one. So our first election will be in first week in April.
Alrighty. Do you have a copy of the bills? Somebody want to make a motion to pay the bills? We got a motion, a second to pay the bills. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Hearing none. Motion carried. I'll hand the paperwork down. Right, got it in that table. I can't write that in. This coming Saturday, I guess Dan and I are going to the Dells to a town association convention, so we get a little more education during the board review and road stuff. Mark and Kelly is going to go later, and so it's business as usual, I guess. Next board meeting, March 2nd. They're going to go home.
I will second.
We got a motion, second to adjourn, all in favor? Aye, opposed, hearing none, motion carried. Thank you for coming, appreciate it. Any thoughts? Come up and share them.